everyone. You're gonna hear a little bit of background noise because I have my window open and it's just incredibly hot in this room right now. But I did want to show you what project I made with this. Used to have a pair to it, but I took one of the other shoe and made a Halloween decoration. So I'd had them for a couple of years in my closet, and I thought, well, you know what, I woke up one morning and I was like, I want to do something, just something that I have never done. And I had this idea in my head, and I had been working with a lot of paper mache at the time. So I altered the shoe and I cut these little things off because they're just little strings, and I felt like I could always use them in a project or something. And I had to tape up the shoe because what I was, imagining in my head, I wanted kind of like a witchy shoe. But here's the project that I created with that shoe. And let's see, make sure I'm in the frame here. Yep. Okay, so that is what I created. Of course, you can see it's definitely different between the two shoes. I did have to add this part right here, and this is a lot of tape, tinfoil, paper mache to get this, this is pretty stiff and it's attached to the shoe. I just kind of went out and curled it up. Yeah, that wasn't really hard, but it was a little bit different. It was something that I hadn't done. And I had gotten this moss at Michael's, and it was on sale. And you can see some of the moss came with these really pretty green leaves in it. You can tell right there. And I used them in several spots. For example, I used, let's see, on this side, I used them on this little pumpkin piece right here, and I used it on the trunk. This is supposed to be like a little tree that's growing out, but I used it on the trunk here and up here. I really loved how it looked. It looked really witchy, I guess you would say. These little styrofoam pumpkins, I did not make them. I just got them at the Dollar Tree and I painted them. And then I went back and shaded, highlighted them. And these are just little sticks that I found, or, I stuck in. I think I got a bag of these from the Dollar Tree. Don't quote me on that, I'm not too sure. Remember, this is when the Dollar Tree was $1. A lot of my supplies I just used that I had around the house. This, I know for sure that I got at the Dollar Tree. They came in a pack of like 6. And I don't know if you could tell. I'm gonna zoom up here with this. Let me get in the frame. I shaded and highlighted this just to kind of take away the shininess because it looked really plasticky and I didn't want that look. And of course, I did the little fire with the fire sticks, and then I painted the sticks red just so it looked like it was a slow ember, or fire that was down there. Sorry guys, my setup right now is a little cray-cray. Came to realize this morning that half of my equipment is not working properly, so. But I really wanted to show you guys this. This is underneath it, you can tell that I painted the paper mache boots because it was brown, and I have an example of what it would look like. Because this is another project. I am not finished with it by no means, and I really need to stop holding the shoe by the trunk, but this is what it looked like before I painted it, this brown. And that's just brown craft paper that I tore up in sheets and little pieces and stuff, and I went over the tape and the tinfoil with that and smoothed some of the edges around where I attached the trunk to the shoe. But these little are punches. Oh, I just moved my camera, sorry. On the pumpkins, you can see the leaves and the little ferns. They're Martha Stewart punches that I had. These little things that are coming out, little swirly little things, I made them by just covering floral tape on some wire, and I shaded them with pan pastels. I would say a mixture of paint and paint pastels were my main shading and highlighting on this. I did paint the whole thing, like I said, black, because I really didn't know, and it does create a lot of a mess. That's the only problem. I know there's might be a spray that you could probably spray on it so it doesn't lose so much, because I do see that there's a chunk of it here that's kind of missing, but I kind of like it like that. But yeah, I love the little mosses that came out at Michael's. They had like so many different colors and varieties. And sorry, I know I'm breathing so heavy right now. I do apologize, guys. I feel like I've been like running a marathon. But so when I did this little cauldron right here, I filled it with, I think there's like newspaper or something inside of it. And then I put a little bit of moss in there, and I put some glitter glue that's right there just to kind of make it look like they had bubbles coming out of it. And yeah, I just really loved how this looked. So if by looking at this, you can kind of see that I went and I took all of this off. I taped this so this wouldn't, you know, come out through the paper, or you wouldn't see the bumpiness of it. And then I went over it with masking tape just so, you know, this would adhere to the paper mache, and I paper mache'd the whole entire shoe with the trunk coming out. And that's when I shaped the little trunk right here so it would curl under, so because I kind of wanted the cauldron to hang down from it, like it was curling up on itself. And yeah, I mean, this was a little bit, I stuffed the inside of the shoe. Like I took the shoe and I put a bunch of, like, I just crumpled up some brown craft paper and I shoved it inside the shoe, and just kind of, when I masking taped it, I taped it down in there. Well, I glued it down in there. I put a bunch of glue in there and I shoved the craft paper down in there. And then I took I guess it was masking tape. I don't know why, I just had a brain fart. But I took the masking tape and I just went in and kind of made like a groove to where they would sit in, so that this is filled on this one. And I just didn't want a bunch of open like space in there, just in case I just felt like it wouldn't be stable enough. So yeah, I'm very excited about this, and I loved it. At first I painted it because I didn't know if I was even going to do the moss. And I went crazy with some pan pastels and I painted it, and it looked okay, but it looked real basic. And I really wanted this to be a wow effect with it. And I love the moss so much because I had been playing with some other projects. This isn't a really, if you're going to do it, like, try not to touch it so much, because as you can see, there's just debris everywhere. And it kind of comes off a little bit after a while, because I did make this last year. When you're seeing this, it would have been almost a year ago that I made this. It's just, I'm just now doing a video on this stuff. It's been a crazy year. But yeah, I loved it, and I was super excited. It didn't take me very long to do. I mean, once I got up that morning and I had the idea in my head, I couldn't stop. I had to keep going and going until I finished it. But I really loved how I did the pumpkin on the heel here. And I'm hoping that I'm staying in frame this whole time. And here's a close-up of the pumpkin on the heel. Really sounded like my southern accent came out that way. But and the ferns, I mean, I'm probably gonna make a couple of these pumpkins just by themselves because they're so adorable. I loved how they turned out. But it sits in my little china cabinet that I have in my bedroom, and with my other little esoteric things that go with it. It's just kind of like I don't know, like the dark academician look in my little it's not really a china cabinet. No, I don't know what to call it. It's an antique dresser that I have that has glass panes in it and has little shelves in it. And it sits in there with a bunch of candles and things like that kind of look like this. So, and I keep it out in that all year round because I just love it so much. But I thought this would be a good idea if anybody had some shoes. And you don't have to do like this shoe. There's other shoes that you can do. I have an idea for one that I want to create little mice with. And I've been experimenting with this. This is the cotton spin. They call it like spin cotton, but I'm not really spinning it, but making him. He was at a tin foil and masking tape, and then I went and I painted it, and then I went over with like cotton. I took a cotton ball and shredded it. I'll do another video about these little guys, but I had an idea for little mice like coming out of a shoe and having that. That's where these come in, these little things, and I'll do a video on these pretty soon when I finish them. I might do some videoing while I'm making them, but yeah, I just kind of want to check in with you guys and let you know some of the projects that I had been doing this year, and I just didn't get around, you know, filming them, or, you know, it's just been a little bit busy for me. So yeah, if you create anything like this, whatever, I would love to be tagged in it. I love seeing what other people do with these little creative ideas. But until then, until my next video, because I have another Halloween project that I want to show you guys, and hopefully I'll post that in a few days. But I just wanted to say hello, and I hope everybody's having a spooky little Halloween. And until then, I'll see you then. Bye.